Hey guys. Okay, wow, it's kind of crazy. Um, Thank you for joining us. This is kind of one of those ideas where you're like, hey, let's try it. Okay, so aloha. How are y'all doing? This is just a little walk and talk. That's Wiggles. Right here is Lola. She gets carried for a little bit just because, she's an older little doggy. But this is just a little bit of a behind the scenes of Kitchen Table Media, just to kind of talk story a little bit. If there's, basic news stories, things like that, just to kind of give you a little bit of news and a little bit of commentary. Nothing too crazy, just a little brief, impromptu walk and talk as we get the girls moving and grooving. Okay, so let's see. Whoa. See, this is what happens when you juggle two dogs. In theory, this sounded like a really great idea. Okay. Okay, so let's see. This is our neighborhood. And as soon as we get to this spot, the video will totally calm down, I promise. And it'll be less crazy. Okay, give me a quick moment. We're going to put Lola down. I know, not very professional. See, this is why we are called Kitchen Table Media. We basically just wanted to create a news publication that is, basically real news by real people, right? We're tired of the canned stuff that we've been getting from mockingbirds. Plus they're not giving us everything, and plus they're giving us something thoroughly slanted, right? So that was the whole reason behind the Kitchen Table Media. So today this is just a little walk and talk in our little neighborhood. We live in Honolulu. Technically, Kaka'ako is the area. It's pretty hip. It really is, even though I thoroughly am not. You know, anyway, we don't want to go there. So there's a lot of things going on in our little neighborhood. It's very dog friendly, which is great, which is one of the reasons why we chose it. And you just kind of check it out. There's always people here, regardless of if it is a holiday weekend or not. Okay. So we just kind of wanted to talk story with you guys and see if there's, if y'all have any questions or anything. But also too, just to kind of talk story about news as we're walking and talking. So the thing that kind of came across my news feed this morning, which was, I guess, jarring to say the, not really jarring, but it was just, what? Say what? It was the Colin Kaepernick story. So basically, Colin Kaepernick is going to be Nike's new campaign dude. And the funny thing is it's the Just Do It campaign. And so Nike just signed Colin Kaepernick for that, which is kind of funny because Colin Kaepernick did not necessarily make his fame from just doing it. He pretty much made his fame from not doing it. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting there. Also interesting, too, is that they're actually, rewarding this type of behavior with Colin Kaepernick. So it's just, that was one of those weird things that kind of came across my news feed this morning. Don't think we're going to really cover it. Sorry. Don't really think we're going to cover it so much in 5 and 5 today, just because, it's one of those stories that all it does is really just incite people and get people upset. So we try to avoid that. The news stories that we kind of pull, we try to pull things that will either something A, mainstream is not covering, right? Or B, something that is actionable, right? So we posted the article about, gosh, my brain just went dead. See, this is what happens before coffee. Okay, so the petition for basically, it's not quite an internet bill of rights, but it's just to ask the president to ask Congress to create some sort of legislation to where social media giants cannot silence um, conservatives' First Amendment rights while on those platforms. So that's the kind of things that stories that we like to do is something that you can take action on. So that's, you know, things like that. So other news stories that kind of came across the newsroom, which we are covering today, is man, just that whole mess with what is that called? Uh, the FISA warrants. See, I am a much better writer, guys. Sorry if this is bad. I apologize now. Uh, so basically, um, oh, the whole thing with the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. So technically, FISC, right, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, they are only supposed to grant warrants to surveil foreign nationals. This court is never, ever, ever supposed to be used for for American citizens, period. So that's one huge red flag with this. The second huge red flag was that come to find out that there were no hearings before the FBI, CIA, and Obama's administration received that warrant to surveil Carter Page while Carter Page was working on President then candidate Trump's campaign. So that's big news. That's tremendous news, right? Not only is it tremendous news that the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court was used to surveil an American citizen. The warrant that was obtained, they did it thoroughly illegally, right? So they did it through the verification of news stories. So what was happening with that, guys, which is really nutsy. So the three-letter agencies, right? Sorry, I'm trying to maintain doggies at the same time when we're talking. Okay, so so what was happening was three-letter agencies would leak information from the dirty dossier to the Mockingbird media. Then the media would run this story, right? Salivating over it. They don't dig Trump. They're definitely going to, broadcast that puppy far and wide. So they did. And then within paperwork to apply for a warrant from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, the three-letter agencies used those news stories as basic sources to justify getting that warrant. And that's right, that's a big no-no. Because they've basically fabricated that source. That source is non-existent, right? Okay, so that's just, that's another story that we're covering today, was just a little bit more information about that revelation that there were no hearings. So not only, was this bogus, illegal warrant obtained, they didn't even bother to hold the hearing. Do note here, this is thoroughly my opinion, right? And this is thoroughly commentary. This is not going to pass for regular news. This is just to kind of give you a little bit of information, a little insight into kind of like what we're thinking, and stuff like that. But interestingly here with this case is that it just shows the lengths and breadths that the establishment went to try to discredit a candidate within a presidential election. So in essence, trying to swing a presidential election in their favor. So yeah, It's kind of dirty. It's pretty dirty. Anyway, so I don't really want to ramble here for a long bit. Just kind of wanted to say hello, aloha, aloha from Hawaii, and hopefully y'all are having a great Labor Day weekend. We are just kind of walking the dogs. That is Wiggles, and that is Lola. Um, and so we're just kind of out and about today, just enjoying the day, and wanted to give you guys just kind of a behind the scenes and a little bit of commentary um, uh, into what we're working on today for the 5 of 5. Anyway, I will talk to you later. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And, if this is something that you want to see more of, please let us know. Um, and you won't hurt our feelings if, yeah. Anyway, okay. So hope you all have a great rest of your day. And I'll just kind of end it being quiet and doing a quick little pan of our little corner of the world. So aloha and ahui ho akuno until we meet again. Hey Terry, I just saw your comment. Our big dogs. One of our dogs, Wiggles, is. We didn't expect it to be, expect her to be. Wiggles is a bigger dog. She's a shelter rescue. Um, so we recently had the joy of adding her to our family in March. And Lola is smaller. So Wiggles is about 30 pounds to kind of give you a guess, an estimation of how big she is, Terry. Um, and Lola is our little grand dame old lady. She turned 16 this last month, and she is about 13 pounds ish. So she's a lot littler than Wiggles. So hey, Lola girl. So there she is. And let's see if Wiggles is sometimes photogenic and sometimes not. When we're out on a walk, she is like all business. And I don't mean, the business, but I mean like she wants to sniff everything on the planet. So she's a good little doggy, for sure. For sure. But anyway, I will. My puppy's about. Oh wow, what kind of puppy do you have, Terry? A big mux or big mix? Yeah, that's kind of gotcha. A big mix, no worries. Yeah, we when we took Wiggles home, they said, "Oh, sorry, got tangled." Um, okay, when we when we took Wiggles home, all they said was terrier. And all the terriers I've ever had in my lifetime are this big, not that big. So, kind of looking at her face and her markings and her behavior, she seems like she's a terrier boxer mix. But yeah, sorry, you're looking at the business end of the dog. Sorry. Oh, a Chi Jack poodle. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Terry. Exactly. But yeah, that's little Lola. So, anyway, so I hope you're having a good day. Yeah, you're welcome, Terry. I hope you're having a good Labor Day weekend. I hope you enjoyed your day. I'm not sure if you're on East Coast or West Coast. I just naturally assume everyone is on the East Coast. Um, but yeah, I hope you had a great day today. And it's for us, you know, one of those. Lucky we live in, oh, hey, Pennsylvania.
You ever heard "Don't judge a book by its cover"?
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, we have a good friend in Pennsylvania. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. But, yep. So this is kind of our day today. So you can kind of see what's going on. Yeah, we are lucky we live in Hawaii, but we are in an area that is like seriously jam packed with buildings, you know, high rises and such. This is pretty much not quite downtown Honolulu proper, but the area we live in is pretty. My husband and I, when talking to each other, we refer to it as Hipsterville. So, and the funny thing is we are about maybe 10 years too old to like really enjoy that hipster action. Um, in terms of, you know, going out to eat every night. You know, it's just what you normally do in your 30s and such. In subsequent videos, we'll try to show you a really cool feature of our area downtown, which is kind of neat for folks to see, is you can probably see the gentleman that is painted on the side of a parking structure here. So in the area we live in, they do murals on various facades here, and it's part of Powwow. So every year there's a group, it's Powwow, Powwow, Hawaii, and artists kind of submit their suggestions for what they would like to paint, and they go ahead and are approved and given specific areas within the Kaka'ako district, and they paint, and that usually happens in February. Coming this February coming up, I will try to show you guys that, but we are moving out of the area in a couple of months, so we'll try to keep that on our list and maybe hit as many as we can before we go. Anyway, on that, I better get going because these dogs, we're standing in the shade right now. But they're kind of like looking at me like, Mama, are we done? So, okay, I know this kind of turned into an informal chat, and that's exactly what we kind of want it to be. Not as polished, and just something fun to where we can kind of talk story with y'all, and kind of let you know kind of what we're working on and what's pinging around in our brains. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and you know, the one thing that I've noticed, and everything kind of gets crazy fast, especially some of the news stories that we cover, and you know, you can sometimes find yourself in this really bad spot mentally. Just try, if you can, try to be thankful for what you do have instead of focusing on, you know, on the negative. I know that's really difficult sometimes to do, but try to just, you know, it's that song that we have in church, count your many blessings, right? Count them one by one. And that, I've noticed, tends to be a little bit of an antidepressant, is the moment you start to focus on the things and the people that matter in your life, all of that horrible stuff kind of falls away. Anyway, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I know I've said that like 1,000 times. Take care. A hui ho akuno until we meet again. Bye-bye.